Hi, welcome to the Untitled Show. I am your pilot, Rick Strohmeyer, painter, printer, toy designer, and we are followed by we are joined with our trip advisor, Robin.
Hi, nice to meet you, everybody. We may have met before, but either way, glad you're here.
Okay, so we got tons to discuss, subjects that we uh, put in mind during the week, and then like as we excuse me, pre-game for the show, we came up with several other ideas to just to push along, move along, or to seek feedback from everybody on social media who we can reach. So, that being said, so first thing, well, you'll notice that the title of this uh, video is called the Still Untitled Show, and originally I thought we would call it "What about very old friends?" Just like out of the Lord of the Rings when Gandalf comes knocking at Bilbo's door, and it works for us, but it's really niche, really niche. And then like the idea of just calling it your miles may vary because of just seems to be something I say a lot when it's like, well, it kind of works, but that seems to be something I add to experimental advice. And then earlier today, I was thinking I'd call it the road trip, and mainly because for the past several years, when going to go see my mom, Robin's place is on the way, and so I swing by there and spend a night to there, and then go to mom's, and then on the way leaving my mom's. And it's mainly because it's a 22-hour drive from St. Paul to El Paso, and Albuquerque is about 4.5, 5 hours from El Paso. So if I drive like 9 hours one day, 9 hours another, I get a very nice place to hang my hat in Albuquerque with some of the most yummy food imaginable. Um, yeah, and
I
so
mean, nothing beats green chili. I will die on that hill for sure. I mean, green chili is one of, if you believe in a deity, that one of God's, you know, like blessed things in this world. Like, green chili is a perfect food. I
well,
it's just good, just so good. Except if you have like reflux, and then it doesn't help very much.
but like even there, like green chilies grow in only one spot in this world. That's it.
Real green chilies, right? They
Real
tried to
green
do them in
chilies.
California and shit like that. And even China's been growing green chili. I was offended. I was super offended.
Right. And I was like, okay. But Anthony Bourdain had a delightful spot about once upon a long time ago about
I
the
miss
green
him.
chilies. So do I. And I was actually looking at like I was looking at a plate like what did he recommended a lot of eateries in a lot of different cities, and I was very curious, like, what did he say about Minneapolis? And all but one of the places that he had recommended are closed now. So,
Ah,
so right. But my travel in 2016, when I took Alicia to Chicago, um, that's what we did. We looked at Anthony Bourdain's recommendations, and half the places we ate were there, and the other half were kind of regretful. Um, but so yeah, and the pizza place that he had recommended was not a deep dish place, which thoroughly enjoyed, and yeah, so dude knew what he was talking about. Um,
I mean, he
so
did well,
and I
man.
do I do I do miss finding out, like, I do miss Anthony Bourdain. Um,
I
but
mean, I looked at his life and I thought to myself, this man has the perfect life. You know, And it ended the way it did. And it made me very, very conscious about the internal struggles that people have, even when their external life appears to be very rewarding.
Right.
And, I feel like, not only, you know, was his information about, restaurant touring and whatnot like that and travel just so interesting, but also, his life is an example that can, bring us a little bit closer to understanding our fellow human being, I would say.
Right. And yeah, like from his show and all the all the places he ate, and he just very much brought the idea along that food is the bridge that brings cultures together, and he's absolutely right. Like if I had if I had a guest come that had never been to Minneapolis or revisiting, and I had to take him to one place to go eat, it would be the Asian food truck event that we just had a few weeks ago. And so it's not just like one thing. You're gonna get some fusion. You're gonna get some spice. You're gonna get some yummy things to drink. Um, but you might spend about $30 there, or less if you have a buddy that you can share. Um, but yeah, like we went there, and I got a Korean hot dog that was a Korean corn dog that was half sausage or half whatever hot dog, half mozzarella cheese stick. Or cheese stick. They put a chopstick all the way through so that cheese stick is supported, right?
I've had one of those.
And rolled in some batter, then re-rolled with Doritos, fried up, delightful. And the first bite was like, oh, what's this gooey thing? It's cheese. It's amazing.
You're like, wait, I was expecting meat, but cheese.
Cheese. And I'm like, oh Christ, did I just get a cheese stick? And then like 3 bites into it, I'm like, no, there's a beef burger in there, and that's cool.
I mean, really, it's just a way to make the cost of it cheaper for the.
I'm sure. And you can get away.
I mean,
yeah,
depending on the kind of cheese that you use.
And then I had a poke bowl there,
stuff.
which was.
Ooh,
I wish I had not gotten the poke bowl, but not because it wasn't yummy. It's just because like when I got that, all of a sudden I saw like the next the other thing, But we had Thai teas there. There was a place selling chicken wings, but their sample boats that they had to give out little pieces were just like the tiny little chicken nuggets fried and stuff, and that's what I would have eaten because I can't eat wings in public very easily. And I was like, "Are you selling the sample baskets?" And you're like, "Oh no!" I'm like, "Well, your shit's amazing, but I can't eat it." And but like so, but the regretful thing was, I got my poke bowl and I'm eating it and I'm enjoying it. Then I turn around and there's a taco truck behind me at this Asian festival.
Fear of missing out.
Baria ramen. So like, so I had never had that
stuff.
So I'd never had that. I'm like, oh, I could have had that. Fuck. So yeah. But there will be another chance, I'm sure. So now that I know that food truck exists in the metro, whenever I go to an event that's going to have multiple food trucks, I'm just going to go look for that one first and then decide.
If you remember what the name is, I'm sure that the Google master will, hand it to you. You don't remember? Oh no.
Yeah, exactly. So,
not even a napkin in your pocket left over.
No, so that.
Hey, I like your shirt, by the way. That's actually.
Thank you. This is the revised one where the coup is grayed out.
Yeah, I see that. It's pretty subtle. Pretty subtle indeed. I mean, granted, the coup was pretty subtle, so.
Still ongoing.
I know, seriously. I mean, we gotta get rid of like Alito.
No, so like
Thomas.
At the debate, there was like they brought up a lot of topics. I was chatting with with a buddy while this was going on, and I was like, they're bringing up topics that I didn't think they would, which is good. But I was like, I wonder if they'll bring up that immunity topic. They didn't. But I was like, wonder what Biden would say about if, because like the whole silliness, and this is all I really want to say to it, but feel free to add a counterpoint, is like they're all talking about, well, what if Trump's granted immunity? Okay, but if he does, what do you think
That also
Biden
means Biden is granted immunity.
Yes. So what powers do you want to grant Biden for the next 5 months, right? So that's like,
man.
You fucking dummies.
I mean, he could expand the Supreme Court by as many people as he wanted to. He could appoint all kinds of. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, theoretically, I mean, they did ask the court if it would be okay for, the president to send, the military against his political rivals, and, they were definitely arguing for such a thing.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm not saying that should be done. I'm just not saying it. But if the Supreme Court says it's okay, I mean, are we now a lawless society? Is that what's going on here?
Well, what I would hope to do is you got a guy who goes like, oh, okay, you've granted me immunity. You're all fired. And I'll replace the whole court and then give up the immunity. And then be like, I'm appointing a new court with the idea that you're going to say presidents don't have immunity. And you're just like, fine, you guys have given me a chance to reset.
Right.
And
I mean, I hope they're thinking like that. I mean, granted,
they're not.
There's a good chance. Well, yeah, they're not. And the problem being is that in that amount of time, I don't know if the Supreme Court would be able to actually take and consider and then actually come out with any sort of ruling before, because if that happened, there's a good chance that people would be like, oh, that's totally terrible lawless behavior. You can't do that. The whole Supreme Court, blah, 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 blah. And there'd be some kind of backlash. No. Trump would win.
You already push him out the door. You've already pushed him out the door.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Are we making preparation for the worst at this point?
I misspelled it. That's right. H-E-A-D-E-N. I fixed Sam Alito's flag.
Did you know?
One of his... Yeah. So, hopefully it comes out all right. And hopefully I don't get...
that needs a little clarifying, like as to what exactly it is. But yeah, I get you. That is wow. That is so on point. You totally need to make some of those. Oh my gosh! Tell me are you like manufacturing like stickers and like like bumper stickers and stuff
that needs
like
to be one now, right?
You're right. Well, that does. So does your shirt. So does like a few of those other things that you were working on. The corrosive one.
Hey, thanks for joining us today. Hello in the chat.
I also I have a couple of folks who actually have reached out to me over Discord in regards to watching this. So let me say hello to my friend in Oklahoma and my friend in Missouri. Both of you know who you are. And my friend in Missouri has actually suggested that I bring him on in order so that he can talk about tanks, because he is like the youngest military historian that I have ever met, and I gotta say it's pretty inspiring. But yeah, so if you ever want to talk about like Cold War history, World War II history, tanks, like all kinds of stuff, and anything like that, he is like definitely there. I find his hyper focus to be pretty interesting.
Okay. I'm not sure which format I like.
Oh, you're switching us around a little bit here, playing around here.
I'm determined whether or not I like this, where I have the full thing and a little bit of the background, or if I want it cropped in, but then I can't see arm movements. But
I mean, if you have it this big, I'll have to clean up my background a little bit, because I can see, like, over on this side, I've got, like, some background things and stuff like that.
Then we'll zoom in today.
That's just fine. Or like some of those ones where like you're big and I'm small or something like that. That's also fine. I know you like showing
I
off
was.
your workshop
I
there.
think there's
So
one. There's one like
oh, you got a door in
when
the
you,
back. That's
yeah,
yeah.
but I think there's one that when you're speaking, that one blows up and the non-speaker minimalizes.
Oh, that's kind of an
So,
interesting idea.
so that would be the interesting one. Yeah. So you'd like to see a sticker of this?
I think that would be great.
Cool. Happy Pride Month. I don't know. I don't know if Instagram's going to let me share that online, but yeah, we're gonna get that done. That's awesome. Yeah. I got to take a quick picture of that so I can have a reference of it on. Yes,
Oh,
I need to take a reference picture of butt plug.
I got a
Oops.
question what I was drinking, and these are like the two things that I have right now.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's what I think the chat said. Asked A&W root beer. I assume that they're. Oh, maybe it's for you. Maybe they're thinking you're drinking root beer. Are you drinking? You're not drinking like a root beer float, are you?
No, I'm drinking an iced coffee. Iced
I
coffee and
think
water.
I figured that'd probably be the case. And I've got two
Yep.
sodas, which is, I mean, you're probably more healthy at this point. Yay, hydration.
So I discovered that like as an iced coffee, I'll put less sugar in it. And not like I really care about my sugar consumption, but
that's
I
probably good
put
for
less
you.
sugar in it.
Less
And
sugar
then,
is absolutely good, considering the amount of sugar that's currently put into things by the people who process our foods,
Oh,
and
gosh.
you know what our standard American palate seem to like. But so
Yeah,
so did we have any good topics today specifically to talk about? I'm excited about
absolutely.
approaching some of the things that you had sort of teased to me a
Oh,
little bit
absolutely.
earlier. I see that we're 17 minutes in, and we haven't gotten to any of our
We just
topics.
said
So
hello.
I know people love to see us just chatting away, but if you wanted to do some things,
It's
we
like
could probably get to it now. Right, guys? Give me a thumbs up or whatever, a like, or I don't know.
I'm not. I'm not familiar with the sugar company scandal, but I did see it at Target yesterday. I ended up taking a picture of it.
I just got a message from a third person who lives in Cartagena, Colombia.
Oh,
And
nice.
they're watching here, but he's learning English, so this is probably helpful.
Yeah, so I was at Target yesterday and look at how they called the candy aisle.
What do they call the candy aisle? Packaged sugar. So honest. That is so great.
Right. So yeah, no, like I got this one coffee from Target that's it's supposed to have it's got a marshmallow mocha, and it tastes like a hot chocolate with marshmallows in it. The problem is that as a coffee itself, it's thin because the hot chocolate's thicker and creamier. So it tastes weird because it has the right flavor, but it has the wrong consistency. So I bought some heavy whipping cream to add into my iced coffee to give it a thicker consistency, and it's amazing. So yeah,
That sounds pretty good.
it is, and yeah, I'm just like, woo, let's go. All right, so we just spent 20 minutes saying hello, just like an ent.
Right? Exactly. I mean, we kind of are really when it comes
All right,
to
so
it.
we I don't know, did we actually talk about the show name, or okay, so
We did.
yeah.
That we're looking for a new show name. So we are looking for suggestions for our show name. If anybody who's actually, it sounds like we've got a few people out there who are actually listening, and I appreciate all of you. If you have a suggestion for our new show name, please do put it in the comments. Put it, wherever we can see it, or I think we have a live chat going on here. Is that right? Do I call that
Yes,
correctly?
but I would ask to put it in the comments because as soon as the stream is done, the chat goes away.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
So so this will be the first topic of discussion. So a couple of ideas I had for the show name was what about very old friends, which works for us. Your mileage may vary because just that seems to be a qualifier I add for a lot of advice that I give. Um, and then the road trip, which because of the way I've done our visits for the past X number of years. And then Robin off camera had a one to play with the idea that she lives in New Mexico, I live in Minnesota, so we have the same letters in our abbreviation. She has NM, I have MN. So it's very squiggly. It could be very.
It looks like mountains. It's like,
a bird show. It could be, and so I was thinking, like, well, what if there was a railroad that went from here to there, and it would be like the MNNM line, right? Because like the line is at the end of the railroads, or it could be the ABQ to MSP, which is also like the like there's.
I mean, it would be really fun if we had high-speed rail in America, right? Some like nice, good technology that like a good portion of the rest of the developed world enjoys. Yes, that would be very nice, sir. That's a great proposition. I heartily agree with that. Can we have some more like that go for like other places and all that? Can we have that, please? Hey, Elon Musk, can you please work on that? Or any of you other entrepreneurs with billions of dollars that are just frittering away on gigantic yachts with yachts as their, outboats.
Yachts with spacecrafts on them.
Right?
So the bird show. Why the bird show?
He is a bird fanatic. This guy. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
This is the gentleman that knows about tanks that you're talking to on the chat.
What is the state bird of Albuquerque?
Ooh, I know it.
Okay.
I bet you he knows it. Do you want me to tell you?
Well,
it's not of Albuquerque. The state bird of New Mexico is a roadrunner.
It's a roadrunner.
It's a dinosaur.
It's fucking. They all are.
I know.
Okay, so
that's the best part about birds.
The common loon is the Minnesota one.
There was a white loon spotted. Did you see that?
No,
if you can bring up a picture of that white loon, oh god, it's gorgeous. But in any case, go on.
But I did see that there was a spirit buffalo.
There was.
Here I am trying to struggle with my plate. So yeah, so something with the loon and a. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's pull up that picture. Hope I don't get flocked for it.
I had to explain your sticker to my friend from Colombia about it being a parody of the flag of the Appeal to Heaven flag.
So good. I'm very grateful you approve.
It's pretty funny.
Okay, so there's your loon.
Ah, so beautiful. Why are loons so beautiful? I mean, they're really good looking in black, but dang, a white one. Yeah. And I don't even know if this one is albinism or what is it called, Lukism, where it's like they're a little bit different.
It's not albinism. It's the same.
I don't think so.
I think it's the same as the spirit bison because it has the black eyes, the black bill, and some other. Black
it has like gray on, like all the rest of its accents are gray,
Yeah.
So beautiful.
Right on. Okay. So yeah, something to be like a loon roadrunner. Oh, that's cool. We got to write that down. Two-headed bird. It's a loon and a roadrunner. Like. All right, goes back to the Dark Tower.
I mean,
sort of.
It's funny, but considering the entire difference in their natural habitats, right?
Right.
Oh, could we give them like? Could we give the birds arms? Like, if you're making, like, some sort of thing, I love those little things where they put, like, little arms on the birds grab things and stuff, like, I don't know, like, with, something like, I mean, not exactly like a hammer and sickle, but, something like, workers' rights and, like, We are rising. I don't know.
No. That's cool. It's cool. Like, you make two variation or a couple variations where one looks like a heraldic beast because it would have like both, and then it could be holding things. So that's fine. I would give it a lion's body though, just to make it more chimera. Or a deer body because we both have deer in our parts of the woods.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. You and your weird creatures that you create.
Body. Uh, God dang it, guys! For Harold, thank you. It's funny though because I just finished watching this YouTuber of this video on YouTube where these guys they're doing their own Kickstarter for a role playing campaign, and they got a 3D renderer in this channel's tabletop time. In tabletop times crew, they have they have multiple people who are on camera. But they also have like some people in the production, and one of them is a concept artist that they use. And so they're making a role playing game, and they got their concept artist to draw things that they wanted for this role playing game, and then they sent that off to some 3D renderer, and he made all these mythical creatures for their like D&D campaign. And one of the things that they had was a chimera. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. I've not painted one of those in forever and a day. But now I'm like, but I was after watching it, I'm like, what toys and crap could I do that I could just splice and turn into their own like budding toys? And yeah, that's all of that segment part. But the other piece that the guy did that I really liked was he made a miniature for the Saturn eating his children from the famous Goya painting, and it looked really good. It didn't. It had. You could tell it had these other two people's styles and designing the thing and how it was rendered, but based on a classic painting, it looked amazing. And I spent about 40 minutes trying to figure out like how can I just get this miniature instead of like the whole thing. And I pulled up a dud so far, so that's a mission for a later date. But yeah, all right. So the loon and stuff. All right. So we may not call it the bird show, but we might use the idea of or something. This is how this shit mutates, and it's cool.
I mean, art. How do you confine it? You throw some things in. You throw in a loon. You throw in a roadrunner. You throw in some ideas that you have from other things and all that sort of stuff, and then art comes out.
And the two-headed bird, all of us then made me think about like in a couple stories of Stephen King's that they do, but they're Dark Tower adjacent, where two different characters had a two-headed parrot, and
I don't remember that. Which ones?
Eyes of the Dragon, because
I love that book. I read that like 3 times.
Eyes of the Dragon. The guy who you suspect it should be Walter Flagg or not Walter Flagg. Flagg.
Randall Flagg.
Randall Flagg.
Yeah.
He had one in his apothecary.
RF. Then, I don't know what RF stands for, but he keeps getting RF names.
Yeah, he's always like that. And then in The Talisman, if you've read that,
I don't think I've read that one.
Oh,
I went through a whole bunch of Stephen King when I was in my teens and 20s, and I don't think I caught that one. Man, The Stand changed my life, I swear.
Okay. Yeah, no, I read Stephen King off and on from 5th grade to 12th, and then once you're in college, you're reading textbooks, and then and then afterwards, I didn't read a lot of. I read The Lord of the Rings and stuff after graduating, but I really didn't. I'm not a book guy, right? But in 2017, um, we Alicia decided she wanted another dog.
Okay.
And so it had been a year since Sun Tzu died, and I wasn't sure I wanted another dog. But we were talking about uh, no, we were talking about getting another dog, and then the Dark Tower movie came out. I was all kind of excited about that because I
You know
knew
what? I don't think I ever watched that. Don't bother. Oh
so
no! Like I was excited about it, and then like I haven't been watching movies since I was probably
it,
like 30 years old. It
if you
just.
imagine it as a sequel and not a books based on the books,
Mm-hmm.
it's all right. But like,
Okay. It's another story in the same thing, but it's not the Dark
well,
Tower.
well, you know how the Dark Tower ends, right?
Yeah, I do. It goes back to the beginning.
Right. So if you imagine it's one of those resets,
Oh. Okay,
then
that
it's
does
okay.
make
Then it's
sense. All
okay.
right. It's just an alternate Okay. All right,
It's
fair
just
enough.
another bit of it. It's like another
I mean, to be
iteration
fair,
of
it would have been hard to like smash all of the Dark Tower books into like one movie
it.
because
Would have.
wow, there's so many different things. I mean, really that could be like a Netflix series of like 3 seasons at least.
I believe the guy who did the House on Haunted Hill and the in that horror series on Netflix is Mike Flanagan. I believe Mike Flanagan has a series of that for it.
Yeah.
And originally, like I guess 2 years ago, there was a series to be started on Amazon, and
Mhm.
it was in production for a while, and Amazon decided not to carry it, so it got tanked.
Bummer.
Um, but it was based. This one was based off of Wizard and Glass, so you had like a young Roland in Magus, and you got to see the origin story at the beginning instead of 4 books in.
Okay,
So
well, fair enough.
yeah. So then that brings us to uh, one of tonight's topics, where um, I've been watching, and it's going back to the Dark Tower. I promise, it's going to loop back.
All
But
right.
I was watching The Punisher this week, and The Boys, and I, you notice how like the guys in The Boys, they're not good guys. The Punisher's not a good guy. That at best they're anti-heroes, but they have their own weird sense
I
of
mean,
morality,
they
right?
like killing things.
They do like killing things, and
I mean,
they're fueled by their own sense of self-satisfaction, and and yeah. But when they go to, and you know, they have their own specific missions for the greater good, right? Um, but when they go to stop a bad guy, and especially a lower level guy, they beg and they plead, please don't kill me. I was just following orders and blah blah blah. And you know, they're never granted parole. They're just they're good. The bullet is put in them, right? And for a long while, I've ventured back to in the Dark Tower, where like Roland is very he's what a gunslinger is in that story is kind of a knight or a knight errant, just evolved up to a different set of codes, but definitely has his own moral code. And if somebody's in the way of that code or the mission that he believes that destiny has put him in, they get eliminated, right?
mm-hmm.
And in
And
part of that,
righteously so.
righteously so. And um, so there comes a point where they realize that they are while working to get to the Dark Tower. There's a force of evil trying to bring the Dark Tower down, and so that must stop.
Wait. Hold on just one second. Like,
Okay.
before you go forward, I want to eventually address, maybe not right this minute, but is he really evil to try to bring the Dark Tower down?
With the Crimson King?
because yeah, because I mean, he's definitely portrayed as evil, as the big evil, the super big
Okay.
evil, right? However, um I feel like the Dark Tower has taken control of a whole universe of lives, and it's basically Groundhog Daying their entire lives.
Okay. So he's top of the list.
And with Roland sort of at the center of this, I mean, really, once he actually like gains some sort of after however many Groundhog Days go around, like when he gains some sort of thing, the idea would be to bring the Dark Tower down because goodness gracious, that seems like such crazy, like I don't know what it's nobody knows probably what the end of the Dark Tower is. Why does it keep putting the world in a loop, like
Right.
that's it's kind of like if it was a movie villain, that villain would be pretty crazy,
Right.
that's so
So
I mean maybe
I
the
would
Crimson King is kind of going for like, hey, can we have a universe that like progresses beginning to end without having any kind of all of this stuff in between.
so I'm going to say he's a bad guy,
Okay.
and because he is promoting the idea of abducting children, mutilating them for his cause, right?
For
Like,
sure. That's true.
you're
That's true.
you're
Okay.
you're using children in this horrible way to get your cause of good. That's a hard sell.
Well,
So,
to be fair, the Dark Tower is basically doing that to literally every soul in its entire group of people that it has this pull on. Everybody who's basically met Roland along his quest, and everybody who supports those people, and they feel like they're in something. I don't know. I don't know. It just seems very like recursive.
okay. So okay,
You
and we'll
should
count
you
it.
should we should have said spoiler alert before we started talking about all this.
I'll flag it in the small section. But so my counter argument would be where I was going with the original idea too. Um, you have whenever Roland decides that he has an agent of the Crimson King and dead to rights, they beg for parole. They ask to be let go, and what they say is, "I was just following orders, and this is the best part. You have no idea what's going to happen to me if I fail." And they're expecting Roland's imagination to think of like, oh, this guy's not just going to die at the hands of the Crimson King. He's going to be tortured. He's going to be put through an immense amount of pain. And he doesn't give a shit about this guy's immense amount of pain because he's already proved to be like a world class shithead. So he is just going. So because this world class shithead helped in the Crimson King's plan, Roland has decided to end them and not consider like, oh well, yeah, oh just go ahead and keep doing your evil shit because I don't want anything bad to happen to you, let alone the 60 kids who are like fucking ruined,
Rude.
all the ruined kids that you helped facilitate. So that's just like I'm not. Yeah, it just feels it's always funny. Like, please, Mister, you can't let me. I was just you have no idea what would happen to me if I didn't do my orders. Yeah, no.
Yeah, like it could be worse than you just killing me.
Mm-hmm. So yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, let's see. I need to step away for a second, but let's see. That is definitely one of the things to talk about. But then, like, there's other things that we got, and we'll see how long you got. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. Well, shoot, I guess it's my show, folks. Um, I am, he's the big artist here, as you can see all the background and stuff like that. This is what he does for a living. this thing right behind me over here. This is one of his earlier works. I don't know. Um, but, I do a little art too. I don't do a whole lot, but that's always fun. That's something to do. I would like to shout out to my favorite imaginary species that I love to draw, and that is just the cutest thing ever, the Avali. I don't know if anybody has heard of Avali, but if you are interested in like fantasy creatures and stuff like that, and you like to create your own original characters, I would definitely suggest one of those because, like, space birds, they're the best. But I think that we're going to be talking a little bit about future format of this show here on the channel. I'm not exactly sure where he's going to be going with that, but I think that's probably going to be like the next topic coming up.
Okay, we can do that as the next topic. It's cool. All right, so let's see. We got topic of format change. It's not real. Yes. Or format update. So the first 3 times we've done this, we have been just like, and I have totally forgot to record the stream. God damn it. So this will be the last time without a recorded. Apparently you have to hit the record before you hit the, apparently you have to hit the record before you hit the go live button. So
okay.
That's fun.
So basically we totally missed out on this one.
Well, I bet I can play this as a screen record and then do it.
You know what? We should do. End this stream now and start it again in another 2 minutes and explain the format change with a recording, since you wanted to record that. So everybody who is watching us right now, we are going to end the stream. And then if you want to keep watching, we're going to put another one up here in just a few moments, and we're going to explain what's going on, and then we're going to record it so that hopefully, if you want to not watch the whole thing with us just talking and being silly, you can just get the message in our in the shorts and the whatnot that come up. So,
and there you go. Perfect. What a great idea. All right, bye guys.